What's up, Goiv Squad? Famox here from Game on Your Face, and today we're looking at Against All Odds. I got mine from the Crucible Quartermaster, but of course you can get it from an engram or package, and in that case it may come with different perks. However, the one in this review is the stock version of the gun. So starting out with the barrels, we have Accurized Ballistics, Linear Compensator, and Field Choke. These aren't the best barrels you could find for this gun, but using what's given, I would go with Accurized Ballistics. It offers more range without losing anything else, compared to the Field Choke, which gives slightly more range but significantly reduces the already low stability. Next we have Persistence. This weapon grows more accurate the longer it's fired. Now usually this would be a pretty helpful perk for a machine gun, mostly because they have so many bullets so the gun is fired longer, in turn making the perk very useful. However, Against All Odds has very low stability and a very small mag size, meaning you wouldn't necessarily benefit from firing this gun for long periods of time because the recoil would be crazy and you would quickly find yourself with an empty magazine. But even though the low stability had me cautious at first, it turns out that it's not as big as an issue as you would think. This gun has the highest range out of all machine guns in the game, but originally I feared that the range wouldn't see its full potential because of the low stability. However, I found that if you fire this gun like a scout rifle, it actually performs very well at long range. If you pulse or burst fire, the low stability will take over, but if you fire one shot at a time, you'll have no problem taking your enemies down, and this is due to the crazy impact that this gun dishes out. If you're considering this gun, then you probably already noticed that it's tied for the highest machine gun impact at 61 with the Jeweler's Hammer. In Crucible, body shots do a whopping 61 damage and a critical does 76. And with everyone averaging around 200 to 220 health depending on your build, this gun will take you down in just 2 to 4 bullets, and that's why it has such a small mag, but we'll get to that in the next perk tree. So moving on, we have Single Point Sling. Switch weapons faster, move quicker while aiming. Field Scout, maximum ammo capacity. Quick draw, this weapon can be drawn unbelievably fast. I think the obvious choice here is Field Scout. As I just said, this gun has a very small mag of 24, but with Field Scout it bumps it to 50. And even though that's still small for a machine gun, it really goes a long way. Like I mentioned earlier, it only takes a maximum of 4 bullets to kill someone in PvP, so even when you got 8 shots left, you can be confident with this gun in your hand. I think that's what makes this gun so awesome in the Crucible, because you're often scavenging for bits of heavy ammo. Knowing that you can potentially get 3 kills with just 9 shots is very empowering. Lastly, we have Grenadier. Kills with this weapon reduce the cooldown of your grenade. This perk is great, but it's definitely better suited for PvE. In this clip you can see I'll throw my grenade and it only takes 7 thrall kills until it's fully charged up again. Of course, if those were all critical hits, it would only be 7 shots. You can imagine how awesome this would be to throw a nade, kill 7 enemies, and immediately be able to throw another nade, especially if you rely heavily on them or you already have the ability to carry 2 grenades. However, it's not as effective in PvP. Now in this clip, I'll throw the grenade, but instead of 7 kills, it takes 5. And obviously it's much harder to string 5 Crucible kills than it is to get 7 in PvE. All in all, this is still a decent perk, but if you're lucky enough to get this gun with crowd control, it would very easily be the best machine gun possible at this point in the game, and extremely OP. I think Against All Odds is already one of the best machine guns around, especially for PvP. It has a high crazy impact and the highest range in class. On top of that, the low stability is very manageable because of the low rate of fire. It feels very steady when shooting. It's like the Suros of machine guns. The high impact more than compensates for the low fire rate. You can drop opponents very quickly. You can see here that even the mighty Blade Dancer will fall to the power of this gun. It can be compared closely to the Jeweler's Hammer, but I think the best part of Against All Odds is that it's much easier to obtain. You can simply purchase it from the Crucible Quartermaster and you don't need to slave away in the Iron Banner. The only downside is the extremely slow reload time. I put the timer to it and it takes roughly 5 seconds to reload the gun. This means the area will have to be fairly clear in order for you to attempt a reload, but it shouldn't be too bad if you just find some cover. In PvE, this gun's use may be situational. You might want to opt for a machine gun with a higher rate of fire and more ammo when it comes to mowing down hordes of enemies, and then pull this one out when you get to the boss to deal the haymakers. So hopefully this review helped you out with how you're going to spend that commendation you worked so damn hard for. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion on the gun, and if you guys have any different thoughts, then let me know in the comments. I do these videos once or twice a week, so if you want to see more, then subscribe to join the Golf Squad. I'm Famox from Game on Your Face, and I'll see you in the next one.